All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It's just harmless me here, Dave, the real music observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you, just like me. This video is about how terrestrial radio helped kill Steve Perry's comeback. And I do mean that. When this album dropped, Traces, when it dropped back last October, I honestly thought it was going to go #1 Billboard. And it got into the top 10 for like a week or two, and then it dropped out. Some say, well, the material was not what a lot of fans expected. Steve Perry fans have been waiting for this record forever. And this record was perfect for adult contemporary radio stations. Had a little back and forth with one of my old disc jockey friends who told me that, well, give it time. The AC charts move really slowly these days. The song got up to number 20, talking about No Erasing, and then maybe 18, 19 in that area, and then it stalled out, and then it was gone. A few weeks later, it was off the charts completely. And it speaks to, yes, I understand it's a generational thing. People have moved on. People want to hear different things, and even a guy who has come back the way Steve Perry came back, even that was just kind of thwarted in a way, and looked at as, well, here's a nice little human interest story we'll cover for a few weeks. But what I didn't like was all of these radio stations, these morning radio shows with, the male host, the female hostess, and they typically do the morning drive, and we're going to have Steve Perry on, and we're going to talk to him for like an hour about his, his life and his new album, and they're all praising the single. They're saying, I heard the single, it's excellent. But yet your radio station didn't play it. They played it once on the morning show, maybe, and then they didn't play it really after that. It was just a bizarre thing, and I said, if Steve Perry can't crack open this resistance to new music from legacy artists, it's kind of over for the radio industry to some degree. Now, I know people are still listening to the radio. New fans are listening to Ed Sheeran every 5 minutes, and that's, I guess, what really matters to these people. Time marches on, and even the legendary Steve Perry can't get the time of day on terrestrial radio, and that really stinks, especially in light of the fact that Steve has another major announcement coming up March 15th, and everybody will want to know what that announcement is. It'll go on all the iHeart radio websites, and some of the morning shows will announce it and talk about it and so forth. But are they going to do anything to help Steve sell albums other than talk to Steve a little bit? Maybe. Poor Steve, he's got to keep calling in and showing up for these radio interviews, and his music is just getting that superficial, yeah, we'll play it a couple of times just to say we played it, and we'll help him out a little bit. But, the fans, they want to just hear Oh Sherry. They don't really want to hear, this new stuff, this No Erasing stuff. No More Crying. I mean, there were a couple of songs, I think, if they had chose differently the first song that was the single, I think they may have done better. But they went for the more upbeat. One had more of a rock vibe to it, which was No Erasing. But Easy to Love would have been my pick to be on radio stations across the country, adult contemporary stations. I think that thing would have been on there for weeks, months. But then again, maybe not, just because it's new music from a legacy artist, but one that was away for so long and who had this incredible backstory to go with it. Isn't that typically what you need? Maybe Steve Perry should have been, like a snippet of the song should have been like in the Super Bowl in a commercial or something, because that stuff seems to be all the rage today. All right, done with this video. Terrestrial radio, kind of dead for fans of classic artists like myself. And you got to go to the adult contemporary station, the mellowest one, and then you might hear a legacy artist like Rod Stewart or Steve Perry, new stuff, but it won't be on the radio for long. That's what I've recognized. All right, I'll be back soon with more content. Don't forget to help me out on Patreon. Things have been a little rough for revenue. So if you can help me out, we communicate, I answer questions, I post stuff over there. So, if you want to, $1 a month, that's all I'm asking. All right, see you later. Take care.